Welcome back, debaters. Today's debate skill is focusing on refutations and rebuttals. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you too will be able to use refutations and rebuttals in your next debate. So without any more waiting, let's begin. We're going to talk about four main things in regards to refutations and rebuttals. First, we need to identify what is a refutation and rebuttal. Then, we're going to talk about the structure and how to create one. After that, we will try applying it to a sample debate. And finally, provide some tips on how to make your refutations better in the future. In debate, when a team gives an argument, the other team needs to show how that argument is wrong. They do this by creating a refutation. A refutation is an attack against the other team's argument. Think of the argument as a castle. The team that made the argument is building up their argument. The refutation should try to destroy this castle. When you destroy the other team's argument, your refutation now proves how they are wrong and how your side is better. A rebuttal is a defense against the refutation. Your rebuttal should rebuild your teammate's original argument. So, if we use the castle as an analogy again, you're going to want to re-strengthen that castle. If you don't re-strengthen your arguments, you're not giving the judge any reason why your arguments are better than the other team's. So a rebuttal is necessary to help show why your team is good. As I said, rebuilding the argument is very important. However, there are two ways that you can do this. First, we talked about rebuilding the argument and making that castle much stronger. Or you can attack the refutation and prove that the refutation is not strong at all. By doing this, you're showing that the refutation should not have hurt your argument, and instead, your argument is still strong and still important in the debate. As we learned from the argument building debate skill video from before, there is a structure when making an argument. The same can be said with making a refutation and making a rebuttal. A refutation has four key steps. You must first identify the other team's argument. Then, state the counter-argument. Third, provide reasons for that counter-argument. And finally, show why the counter-argument is more important than the other team's argument. Your counter-argument is your refutation. You're proving how the other team's argument is wrong or incorrect. An example of this is their argument was about school uniforms being good for school. However, my refutation to this is that they don't have any evidence. I disagree with their argument because without evidence, there are no facts to support them. Therefore, they should not be winning this argument. With this example, we can see that a refutation is not just some quick response. You have to have a very well planned and thought out structure to show how your refutation proves that the other team's argument is wrong. The structure of a rebuttal is very similar, except that you're going to want to first restate your team's argument, then identify the counter-argument. Third, provide reasons for why the counter-argument is not important, and finally, show why the original argument is more important than the other team's refutation. So if we continue with the school uniform idea, our argument was that school uniforms are good for school. The other team said that we had no evidence. However, we gave examples of how school uniforms have helped children. Therefore, our argument is still true, and we have shown to you how good school uniforms can be for students. With this example, you now have proven that your argument is stronger and their refutation is weaker now. Now we're going to apply a refutation and rebuttal to an actual debate. Now, from this flowchart that is presented to you, you can see a line that is horizontal. It goes argument, refutation, and rebuttal. The first pro speaker should give 2 arguments. The first op speaker should give 2 refutations, and then their 2 arguments. Now, the second pro speaker has the hardest job. They have to give 2 rebuttals, their new argument, and then 2 refutations. The second op speaker now has to give 1 refutation, 2 rebuttals, and their third argument. Now, here is a sample argument for us to use to show how to apply refutations and rebuttals in a debate. Without academies, Korea's education system would fall in ranking. The competitive atmosphere for education in Korea and the availability to attend academies has created a race to the top for average Korean students. Without academies, the education system in Korea would suffer. From this argument, we now have to think of a refutation to give to prove that the argument is false or invalid. So here is a sample refutation against this argument. The pro team said that without academies, Korea's education system would suffer. We disagree because children can study at home or spend their time elsewhere. Without academies, children can discover other ways to study and learn. They can develop other passions and become successful at them. This means that students can become more well-rounded by not going to academies. With this refutation, now the pro team has to give their rebuttal. Here is a sample rebuttal against the refutation, supporting the original argument. We argued that Korea's education system would fall if we don't have academies. The op team argued that children can study at home. However, they didn't say the education system would improve without academies. Therefore, our argument still is true and shows how Korea will suffer without academies. Hopefully, this helps explain the argument, refutation, rebuttal structure in a debate. However, if you have questions, be sure to ask them below in the comment section or email us your questions. It can be difficult to think of a refutation off the top of your head. So, here are a few things to think about when planning your refutations and your rebuttals. Contradictions made with previous arguments. Because this is a team event, 2 teammates may have similar or contradicting arguments, which will make you, the opponent, able to argue and refute much easier. Also, does the reasoning and logic make sense? Many times, debaters will give arguments that don't make sense and are not logical. So, make a refutation against that. Third, what is the evidence like? Does the evidence support the argument? Is it outdated? Is the author credible? Make these your refutations when arguing against the evidence. Finally, do your arguments refute the other team's arguments? Use your arguments as a refutation and show how you're winning the debate in a much easier fashion than having to create brand new refutations. Sometimes it is best to plan ahead with your refutations and rebuttals. Remember, you know when the debate will be, so before the debate happens, you can make your refutations and rebuttals. This will help you make strong refutations and rebuttals and not have to think on the spot on what you're going to say. Also, this can help you make multiple refutations in your debate. While this is a more advanced skill, having your refutations and rebuttals planned out ahead of the debate can help you have a better strategy during the debate. In conclusion, we've talked about a lot of things. Refutations and rebuttals are important parts of debate. They prove how the other team's arguments are wrong, or they prove how the other team's refutations don't diminish the value of the original argument. Remember to structure your refutation and rebuttals. Make them clear so that everyone can understand them. Finally, Plan ahead if you need to. Refutations and rebuttals require a lot of thinking. So if you have time, prepare your refutations beforehand so then you can be better prepared for your debate. There you have it, guys. This concludes our debate skill lesson on refutations and rebuttals. Comment below your thoughts of this video and email us at debate.readingpioneers@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts and your questions about debate. Finally, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and keep up to date on all future debate-related videos, including more speeches, debate skills, and other debate-related activities to help you become a master debater. Click this little eye up in the right-hand corner, and you will see some other related videos that you may be enjoying as well. From Reading Pioneers Debate, thank you again for watching, and I hope you guys have an amazing day.